hopefully I'm speaking loud enough. I don't want to wake my mum up because it's 20 to 6 in the morning. As usual, I've got insomnia. But I just thought I'd do an update whilst I could, whilst the dogs are sleeping as well. I've got my porridge, not quite the usual banana porridge you see on Instagram, more banana chocolate porridge, which is basically porridge with a bit of banana protein powder in, and I don't know if you remember the banana chocolate crumble that was out for a little while. I hoarded a few of those, so I still got some of those left. So it's just a few of those. So yeah, I think it's completely okay to have ordinary chocolate, as much if not more than protein bars, unless you're bodybuilding or have some other motivation. But otherwise, in my opinion, I think you risk going down another disordered rabbit hole. But I stand to be corrected, so it's just my opinion. It's not a criticism of any individual in particular, and in fact I have boxes of protein bars myself, which I'm gradually working through. I do see the advantages. They do fill you up a lot more and for a lot longer than chocolate bars, but since receiving my gastric emptying study results, that seems to be less of a problem for me, and I have more of a problem with feeling full for too long, and that can result in me being sick, feeling sick several days of the week, and it's not very pleasant just having to constantly think about what I'm eating and whether I'm going to overload myself now. It used to be a worry in previous relapses that I'd lose control and binge, and that's less of a worry now. It's more of a worry that if I ate even a normal amount, I might be sick. Certainly if it was really fibrous food, or things like red peppers, tomatoes, mushrooms, things that hang around a long time. So yeah, that would be a concern. One of the things, again, I've been asked is about why I always roll my sleeves up. I'm autistic. It's a sensory thing. It's nothing more sinister than that. If I went outside right now, it'd be freezing cold. I'd roll them down. But when I'm indoors, I don't like to feel cloth touch my arms if I can help it. But that's not the case all the time. It's just the case as much as I can make it the case to keep me comfortable. It's nothing about showing off skinny arms. If anything, to me, in my very dysmorphic head, my arms are not something to show off, and I see the fat bits, and I don't like sharing the fat bits. I've got some good pictures that I'll put up on Instagram, sharing some ice cream with the dogs in the garden, when we had that one sunny day. But other than that, I've been feeling very, very despondent. I had my 2 seizures, obviously. My memory has been really poor since I had them, so I can't even tell you when I had them. Although I do know that I now have my neurology appointment this coming Friday. I'm really scared about that. I'm really scared about the conclusions that I'm starting to reach in my head, things that have been missed, things that have been put down to possible Wernicke's, which could have been something else. For example, MS. I think this is the problem with being a medic. Your mind can run away with you because you have too much knowledge. But when I start to think of the symptoms that I've had since, this time last year, it started with taste change, then vertigo, nausea associated with vertigo, to the extent that at one stage I had to leave a Zoom appointment because I was sick in the middle of it. And then that got worse and worse. That's when I started to lose weight. Anorexia came in. Then by August, September, I developed double vision. I couldn't walk in a straight line. I was ataxic. I was slurring my words. My writing got smaller and smaller, what we call micrographia. And in hospital at the time, it was all put down to Wernicke's because there had been a delay with me getting back on the thiamine. But then it happened again and again, and it happened on an almost monthly basis until I went into the eating disorder unit. And then there were the things like gastroparesis, POTS, so dysautonomia symptoms, which can also be related to the nervous system. So in my head, I'm now making all these connections that, what if I'm a blonde female, typical demographic, that age. Of course it might not be, and I think I'm jumping several million steps ahead. But I've been feeling so despondent since knowing that I can't drive for another 6 months. In my head it was another few months max, because I just needed to get up to a BMI of 14.5, which I wasn't anticipating to take 6 months, but because of the seizures it's 6 months now at least, and God help me if I have another one. So I can concentrate on very little, I can do very little. I can walk my dogs, I can tidy, I can sell things on Vinted, which I'm trying to do at the moment whilst I'm on half pay. But I can't drive, I can't go and see friends. I was very fortunate to have a friend come and see me yesterday. And that was lovely, and that was a distraction for a little while. And they took me to get a McFlurry because they know that still is something I can tolerate, with the numbing of the sort of metallic taste that I get in my mouth. And of course the other thing is long COVID, so I'm back on doxycycline for about the 6th time. When I saw the GP, my temperature was up for me, and I'm producing a lot of sputum, sorry to share that with you, which is being sent off for culture again. I've had all the blood tests, chest x-ray, etc. now, so I'm just on the waiting list. I think I need one more ECG, and then I'm on the waiting list for the long COVID clinic. So sorry it's all doom and gloom. I want to share a positive, and I guess one positive, though I'm still so scared to look forward to anything for it being taken away again. But me and Mum are going to see The Killers later this month, and I'm really excited about that because of lockdown and shielding and so on. It's been more than 2 years since we've been to a concert, and we'll be in the sort of ambulatory kind of area. So whether I go with my stick or whether I go with a wheelchair, I'll be hopefully okay. The only thing I worry a bit about is strobe lighting. I don't know if that's a trigger for seizures. The only trigger I've identified so far is extreme lack of sleep. But fingers crossed, and I don't want to let that stop me at the moment. And hopefully I'll have had my first neurology appointment by then. So I'm just trying to hold on to things like that, because I was in a very, very dark place yesterday. Mum didn't want to leave me alone, and I hate putting her in that position. I just keep after remembering I've got other people to live for, even if I don't want to live for myself. So that's where we're at, and things will get better. So I keep having to hold on to. It's the only thing to hold on to at the moment. But yeah, lots of appointments this week. CPN, GP, ECG, eating disorder specialist, and the neurologist. So, and occupational health. I feel sorry for him. Every time I speak to him, there's a whole new load of baggage. Why can't I just be normal? Anyway, catch up soon.